Hello, beautiful people. My name is Funke Akinlebelo, and you're watching This Nigeria.
Hello and welcome to another fresh edition of newspaper headlines review and also newspaper review on This Nigeria. My name is Femi Okunlaya. Good morning. And this morning I'll be taking stories from some dailies here. I'll start from This Nigeria newspaper. We'll take some stories from The Punch and we move to The Nation, The Guardian newspaper, This Day and The Daily Sun. And now I'll start with This Nigeria newspaper headline. In This Nigeria newspaper headline, we can see North's game plan. Talk about the 2023 presidency. North's game plan. Why Buni is courting Atiku, other opposition figures. We also take another stories. Why Wike should run for president. Yesufu leader League of Patriotic Lawyers said why Wike should run for president. And also another story, Serap sues Buhari others over missing 3.1 billion naira in finance ministry. Serap sues Buhari others over missing 3.1 billion naira in finance ministry. And also fuel subsidy controversy. Stakeholders question Nigeria's daily fuel consumption. And 11 killed in overnight attack on Zango Kataf community. And now we quickly go to the Punch newspaper this morning. The headlines for this morning from the Punch newspaper talks about presidency, APC in dilemma over zoning, metro race open. Another one from the same dailies, Ogun Assembly alleges graft, summons local government chairman. Also, 3 arrested as Osun vows clampdown on Elisha killers. And I will take a quick one to the Nation newspaper this morning. Governors lead opposition to reworked electoral bill. Governor lead opposition to reworked electoral bill. Post-primary crisis rocks APC, PDP in Ekiti. Post-primary crisis rocks APC, PDP in Ekiti. In the Guardian newspaper, only 2.5 million motorists captured as insurers plan 7,500 for third party. From the Guardian newspaper, in fresh attacks, bandits kill dozens in Kaduna and Niger. We'll move to This Day newspaper. And 2022, Nigerian women in tech break new grounds. Nigerian women in tech break new grounds. And also, 95 days after launch, e-Naira wallets download near 700,000. Again, Nigeria loses 6.5 million barrels of oil to force majeure sabotage in December. The Daily Sun newspaper this morning talk about the IPOB. Abia court verdict will aid Nnamdi Kanu's release, says lawyer. Abia court's verdict will aid Nnamdi Kanu's release, lawyer. Bloody weekend in Niger, Kaduna. And also, still on Daily Sun newspaper, APC convention, February 26th date, threatened as CECPC malls match option. APC convention, February 26th date, threatened as CECPC malls match option. And now we'll move to This Nigeria newspaper headline, where we look at some of the stories. In This Nigeria newspaper headline, where we look at some of the stories that were read before, we start with the North game plan. The North game plan, why Buni is courting Atiku, other opposition aspirants. You can check the page 4 of This Nigeria newspaper. In page 4 of This Nigeria newspaper and the North game plan. With the 2023 general election barely 13 months away, the clamor for rotational presidency between the North and the South is gaining momentum across the political divide. The North, from all indications, has a game plan with which it intends to hold on to power post-Buhari era, and a futuristic strategy on how the primaries of the two leading parties, thus the APC and the PDP, may go. Power blocks in the region have perfected plans to ensure that two northern candidates emerge in the parties. More of that story from the North game plan. Another headline we'll look at on this Nigerian newspaper this morning: why Wike should run for president. Yesufu leader League of Patriotic Lawyers. You can check page 5 of that story. A group League of Patriotic Lawyers has called for presidential runs by Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and former Senate President in person of Dr. Bukola Saraki, a platform of lawyers committed to special justice and good governance. The group, in a presentation by its president, Abubakar Yesufu, explained why they want the duo to contest for the #1 office in the country. If you want more from that story, why Wike should run for presidency, you can get more of that from ThisNigeria newspaper this morning. Another one we look at from ThisNigeria newspaper this morning, headlines that are trending: Serap sues Buhari others over missing 3.1 billion naira in finance ministry. If you get to page 10 of that, on the page 10 of that, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Serap, has filed a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari over his failure to probe allegations that over 3.1 billion naira of public funds are missing from the Federal Ministry of Finance. Federal Ministry of Finance. Serap said, among other things, that it took this legal action since the federal government has failed to ensure the prosecution of those suspected to be responsible and the recovery of any missing public funds. You can get more of that story from ThisNigeria newspaper this morning. And another one we look at on ThisNigeria newspaper headlines this morning is 11 killed in overnight attack on Zango Kataf community. If you check the page 6 of the newspaper this morning, 11 killed in fresh attack on Zango Kataf community. 11 persons have been confirmed dead in fresh attack on Zango Kataf in Kaduna State. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in Kaduna State, Mr. Samuel Aruwan, made the announcement in his weekly security update alert. He said the attacks occurred about 4:30 p.m. yesterday, while some residents were inflicted with gunshot injuries. You can get more of that story from ThisNigeria newspaper headline. And now the last story we are going to be treating will also come from ThisNigeria newspaper headline. And we'll talk about the fuel subsidy controversy. Stakeholders question Nigeria's daily fuel consumption. The stakeholders question Nigeria's daily fuel consumption. You can check page 12 of the newspaper this morning for that story. And now page 12 of ThisNigeria newspaper this morning, we're talking about the fuel subsidy controversy. Stakeholders question Nigeria's daily fuel consumption. The federal government has hinted that about 3 trillion naira will be spent between now and the end of this year alone, in continuation with claims by marketers on fuel subsidy payments. This huge sum, no doubt, will go into the pockets of few privileged petroleum products marketers and their partners at the expense of other Nigerians and already battered economy. But this amount realistic commensurate with the volume of products imported into the country? Do Nigerians actually consume this quantity of fuel that the government will be spending such an amount on in just 1 year? You can get more of that story from ThisNigeria newspaper. And now that's the end of the newspaper headlines review and some of the newspaper reviews on ThisNigeria. I took stories from This Nigeria newspaper. We took some from Punch newspaper. We looked at The Nation, The Guardian, This Day newspaper, and also Daily Sun. Join us next week again for another edition of this program. My name is Femi Okunlaya. Have a wonderful day.